I have adopted my own 2 kittens, so they might be hopping in the frame at some point. It is the holidays, the winter holidays, and we are very much the kind of people that go to church once a year on Christmas. I identify more as being a spiritual person than a religious person, but I do always enjoy the service. And this year they were talking a lot about hope and how badly we all need that. And it got me to thinking that I have some, and I wanted to share a story today. It's part of my mental health journey that I haven't really talked about on here yet. There was a time when I did not have even the slightest hope that I would be able to be in a place where I am right now in this moment, and it made me really overwhelmed with emotion. And I thought, well, that's usually when I record to post something on YouTube, so why not? Hi, this is Frida. This is my baby. You can guess what I named her after. Before I do tell my story, I like to say that I am okay. I have a great medical support staff with my therapist and my psychiatrist. I have great support from my sister who I live with, and then my parents who live close by. If you stick around to the end of the video, you'll hear a great story about that. Just want to share these stories because I have heard that it has been a source of hope and a source of comfort for people. I'm also in Al-Anon programs, and they always say, take what you want and leave the rest. There he is. This is Edmund. Say hi to the people. Okay, so not long after I made the video where I talked about my diagnosis with bipolar 2 that brought a lot of people to this channel, I hit Frida, stop it! I hit what was probably the lowest point on my mental health journey, or at least one of the lows. It was one of my bottom points. But I can kind of talk about it now a little matter-of-factly, but that's just because that's what time does. But yeah, I want to say it was about a month after I filmed that video. I was in the middle of a pretty extreme low. I was really depressed, and I think I entered a panic attack. Somebody asked me on that previous video how I know, like when I posted that, how do I have the self-awareness to know that I'm in a high or low? And I don't always. Sometimes I just have this instinct to start filming myself, and I think it actually sometimes comes from a place of knowing that I'm not going to believe myself later, or at least like not believing myself even in the moment. Like I will kind of gaslight myself and be like, oh, you're not really experiencing this. So I'll take a video and I'll watch it later with a clear mind, and it kind of helps me feel valid and feel like, no, I really was struggling. Like that was really bad. Because you can't really, it's hard to know that in the moment. Anyways, I believe I was having a panic attack and a low at the same time, but I don't know. All I knew is I was in complete agony. I was sitting against the wall on the floor of the hallway in my parents' house, and nobody was home. I was by myself, and I was sobbing, full body heaving, and the only time I'd take a break was to just like whack my head on the wall, because I don't even know, it's just like you're just in so much agony, you just don't know what to do. I'm like, and I wasn't at the point in my recovery journey yet where I was, strong enough, or I'd healed enough to pick up my phone and text and say, hey, I need someone to come be with me. So I just was trying to sit it through, and it got to the point where I just was too afraid for my safety, because I just did not want to do it anymore. And I've never really talked about suicidal ideation on this channel. It's something that I'm still not sure how to navigate that conversation and how to do it in a way where I don't worry people. Not that you have to tell your story in a way where it's digestible for other people, but that is something I struggled with. And that day I was really worried for myself because I didn't want that to happen, but I was thinking about it because I was just, like I said, in so much agony. I just couldn't imagine doing that anymore. I mean, and I didn't see any hope that it would ever be any different. I'd been feeling that way on and off for so long at that point, and nothing had worked. I didn't have any faith that the medicine was going to work, that the therapy was going to work. And I just kept thinking, you know, I can't do this for the rest of my life. I can't do this for the rest of my life. And so, luckily, I texted my therapist. She said, go to the hospital. So I texted my dad, and he drove me to the ER, and I checked myself in, and they kind of just put me in a bed for a little bit, and the social worker talked to me, and I was still like just convulsing and just like really in a, you know, sobbing, crying, just in a really bad way, and they just sat with me until it was over. And then it passed because things always pass when it comes to mood disorders. And I walked out, and my dad was waiting for me, and he went, do you want to go to In-N-Out and get some french fries? And I said, yeah, I want to go to In-N-Out and get some french fries. And that was that. And it was actually really hard for me to think about. Good thing I have my emotional support animals. And the reason why I got emotional today and I wanted to make a video that I'm hoping can be a message of hope is because I just celebrated a beautiful Christmas with my family. And I'm just really happy. And, you know, I'm making a job transition at the moment, but I, you know, have had a pretty successful career, and I have my kittens, and I have my friends, and I go surfing, and I just, like I said at the beginning of the video, I didn't think that I would ever even be able to get to a point again where I wasn't in full body agony. And I got to that and more, and I got to a point where I feel genuine joy on a regular basis. And I think that it would have been really nice for me to hear that at the time, because it's hard to have faith, and it's hard to keep pushing through recovery if you don't even know if it's gonna work or not. Yeah, I just thought that was really beautiful, and it was just like an epiphany. I don't know, I came home from being at my parents' houses, and I walked into the kittens and to my room, and I was just hit with this moment of gratitude, and so I really wanted to share it. I also, you know, and that also doesn't mean that I don't ever have symptoms in my mental illness. It just means that I've learned so much, and I've grown so much that they don't have as much power over me anymore, and they don't happen nearly as often. I actually had a panic attack, only my second since that experience I just shared with you, about 2 weeks ago. And it started getting bad, and I was hyperventilating, and I was crying, and I actually took a video like I talked about previously, because I was sitting there just going, I'm such a weak POS, like I can't believe that, you know, I'm sitting here just trying to do work done, and I'm crying like what a baby, because we internalize that kind of self-hatred. And then it's like this wiser voice came in and went, no, actually, I think you might be having a panic attack. And so I decided to take a video of myself because I thought, you know what, I'll watch this back later when I'm in a better space and when I'm level-headed. And of course, when I watched it later, I was like, yeah, no, that was not normal. It felt similar to the one where I ended up in the hospital. And I picked up my phone and I texted in my family group text. This is gonna be emotional again. And I just said, hi, I'm having a panic attack. Can somebody come be with me? And it was so hard. I don't know why it's so hard to do. But my dad said, sure, yep, on my way. And he showed up and I was sitting there. I was still hyperventilating and crying. And he was just like, good, you have a panic attack? And I was like, yep, thanks for coming. And he just sat with me. And I also have medicine for it now, so I took a little bit of my medicine, and you know, it just, that isn't something that I ever would have been able to do a couple years ago. I would have never been able to reach out for help like that, and I'm just so glad that I've gone through the, quite frankly, excruciating work that it took to get here, and I'm grateful, and I just want that for anybody who's still struggling the way that I was a couple years ago. And I don't know, the only way that I know how to do anything to help people get there is sharing my story, because you know, I actually have started taking some psych classes and I'm considering getting into the mental health field career-wise, but for now I don't have enough information to give any advice or actually help anybody, but I figure I can share my story. So if you're in a place where you feel like, I don't know, you might be struggling with a mood disorder, you might be struggling with depression, you might be struggling with suicidal thoughts, and it might just feel like it's just never going to get better for you. You never know what the future holds, because it really, you just never know what the future holds. So that's my holiday message for everybody, is that things can get really dark and they can get really late. And all you can do is just keep pushing and keep working and keep trying the next best thing that you can think to do. And hopefully you can use this story as at least one piece of information against that thought that goes, it's never going to get better, because it might not, or it might. And let me tell you, it is really, really worth it if it does. And I'm starting to believe it's more of a when it was, because there's just so much out there. I know not everybody can afford therapy and psychiatry, but I mean, even just Google searches, there's so many YouTube videos that mental health practitioners have started to make that'll teach you, you know, thought interventions, and there's so many, you know, lifestyle changes, and just, again, I can't tell you exactly what to do because I don't have enough knowledge, but I can tell you that if you just keep trying and working at it, there's hope. There's so much hope. I think that's all I got for today. I'm tired now. Talking about this really emotional stuff does make me really tired, so. Happy holidays. And you deserve to live a life that's manageable, and you deserve hope. That's all I gotta say today.